Michael was an absolute genius at building grooves, often inventing them right out of his own mouth using beatbox. But to get those legendary bass lines onto tape, he and producer Quincy Jones recruited the absolute elite of the session world. There's a massive internet myth that Louis Johnson played every single note Michael ever recorded using hyper-aggressive thumb slapping, but the reality is way more fascinating. Today, we're going back to 1979 to the album that started it all, Off the Wall. So turn up your speakers, relax, and let's meet the heavy hitters who they anchored the king of pop. If you want to hear Louis Johnson at his absolute most unhinged, this is where you start. While internet myths claim Louis slapped his way through every song on the album, Get on the Floor is the actual holy grail of his slap technique with Michael. Co-written by Michael Jackson and Louis Johnson himself, this track was built from the ground up around Louis' iconic Music Man Stingray bass. Technically speaking, Louis completely tears this arrangement apart. He unleashes a barrage of lightning-fast thumb slaps, aggressive pops, and muted ghost notes that act like a second percussion section. Look at how he locks his octave leaps directly into John J.R. Robinson's kick drum and hi-hat. It's relentless, physical, and dripping with raw attitude. This wasn't just a bassline, it was a tour de force that set the gold standard for funk bass in the late 70s. If Get on the Floor is a runaway freight train, Rock With You is pure silk. It's smooth, effortless, and sits in a pocket so deep it feels weightless. Now, legendary bass heavyweights like Louis Johnson, Nathan East, and Terry Jackson pop up in the broad liner notes from this era of Michael's career, but the mastermind behind this buttery, unmistakable groove is actually Bobby Watson, the brilliant bassist from the funk group Rufus. The track itself was written by Rod Temperton, who also handled keyboards and synths, delivering a gorgeously structured melodic blueprint for Quincy Jones to produce. When you break down Bobby Watson's playing on this record, it's an absolute masterclass in fingerstyle restraint and melodic phrasing. Watson isn't slapping or trying to hog the spotlight. Instead, he dials in a warm, rounded tone that locks in arm with J.R. Robinson's razor-sharp drumming. Pay attention to how he steps up into the higher register during chord transitions, weaving in subtle, stunning counter melodies that give Michael's vocals the perfect cushion. It's tasteful, sophisticated, and proves that sometimes the heaviest groove is the one that knows exactly when to breathe. To close out Off the Wall, Quincy and Michael turned once again to songwriter Rod Temperton and bass titan Louis Johnson for Burn This Disco Out, a track designed to leave the dance floor completely exhausted. From a technical standpoint, this line is a masterclass in high-speed fingerstyle stamina. Louis trades his signature thumb slap for blistering, hyper-precise fingerwork. Playing with an incredibly tight attack, he uses short, staccato articulations and ghost notes to drive the bottom end without ever getting muddy. Notice how his line constantly pushes the momentum forward. By anchoring the root notes on the downbeat and bouncing through syncopated octave leaps, Louis creates a continuous wave of energy. It's tight, punchy, and provides the muscular foundation needed to balance the track's heavy brass section and Michael's soaring vocals. Originally written by Paul McCartney for his band Wings, Girlfriend brought a lighter, more pop-centric flavor to Off the Wall. But when Quincy Jones brought Louis Johnson into the studio to cut the bass track, he added an undeniable R&B swing to McCartney's composition. Analytical-wise, Louis' playing here is all about touch and dynamics. Instead of driving the track with sheer volume or speed, he plays with a soft, rounded fingerstyle approach that mirrors the song's playful, romantic tone. Pay close attention to how he walks up and down the neck during the chord shifts. He uses subtle slides and warm, lingering notes that fill the sonic space between the rhythm guitar and the horn fills. It showcases Louis Johnson's incredible versatility, proving he could pivot from an aggressive funk beast to a smooth, melodic R&B accompanist at the drop of a hat. Duetting with the incredible Patty Austin, Michael delivered one of the most sophisticated mid-tempo tracks on the album with It's the Falling in Love. To lock down this intricate groove, Quincy Jones called upon Louis Johnson once again. Composed by David Foster and Carol Bayer-Sager, the track features a rich jazz-leaning harmonic structure. Louis Johnson's bass line acts as the anchor holding those complex chords together. He uses a clean, unpolished fingerstyle tone that leaves plenty of room for the electric piano and vocal harmonies to shimmer. What makes his performance so brilliant here is his note placement. Louis leaves precise gaps of silence, using micro-rests between his notes, which gives the bass line a natural breathing pulse. It's laid back, exceptionally clean, and demonstrates how a master session player elevates a pop ballad into a groove masterpiece. At the end of the day, looking back at Off the Wall proves one major thing. Michael Jackson's solo breakthrough wasn't just built on star power. It was built on an obsession with the perfect groove. Whether it was Louis Johnson pushing the absolute limits of slap and fingerstyle stamina, or Bobby Watson laying down pure velvet, Michael and Quincy Jones knew exactly how to pick the right hands for the right track. These session players didn't just play notes, they created the very heartbeat of pop culture. So which of these iconic off-the-wall bass lines gets you moving every single time? Let us know in the comments below.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next video.